This is a Laguna LT16 Resaw Bandsaw. 16 inches is the throw capacity here. It's actually 15 and a half, technically, slightly under. And the stock resaw capacity, height-wise for this machine is 12 inches, but I have the upgraded ceramic guides on here, and that gives you an extra 5/8 of an inch. So the original machine out of the factory, when they made it, just had this knob. I added this secondary knob for rigidifying the blade guard and therefore the upper guides. And it's basically the same idea. I just elongated the track here, and this makes it a lot more rigid. It barely moves when you have these tightened down. So that's the bonus. And here we have it at maximum resaw height, 12 in. You could, it's a little under 3/4, so I have it marked at 12 and 5/8 so you don't get in trouble. I've been running 130-inch blades just because I think it's a little bit easier to tension. Here's the tensioner up top, and there's the guide, or the gauge rather, for the tensioner. So I recommend this for future blades. Right now it has 130 and 1/2 inch Resaw King carbide tip blade on it. That's this guy here. It's still pretty sharp, and it can be sharpened more. And these are really expensive blades, really nice. I have it quite loose right now, but again, blade tensioning right here. This is the tilt adjust. I have it marked don't adjust because I have it dialed in. I made this simple little mount here for stashing the mobility kit lever wheel thingy. And the way this works is 2 fixed wheels back there, and then there's a pin here, and you basically pop it in like that, and then you can push this thing around. It works pretty well. This is a very uneven concrete multi-slab surface, and I can move it around okay here. If you have a really nice shop floor, you're gonna have no problems at all moving this around. The motor's made by Benora in Italy, and 1.3 kilowatts equates to 1 3/4 horsepower. And it's a 220 volt machine, and I have it wired with a NEMA L630, and I added this 16-foot 10 gauge cord just to beef up what it came with. Here's the second of the 2 ceramic guides, and that thing's pretty easy to adjust and is highly adjustable. And you can also see down here are the tilt bed adjustments. Here, these knobs here, you unscrew and that pulls this part out, and that is what allows you to be able to swap out the blades. So the fence that it comes with, it's cast iron, and it's pretty basic. I added this 11.5 inch 2x12 redwood tall fence because I was doing a lot of full height resawing, and that's just bolted on, but you could take that off. It's also really easy to swap in some other auxiliary fences if you didn't want something that high or that long. This is excessively long, but this system works pretty well, definitely better. I have these little shims that I use for this, and that's just basically to square the fence up because it's so tall and just rigidify it. So all I do is use a big square, get that just how I like it, and kind of snug these up and crank it down. Check it again. It's pretty good. Even though this fence worked pretty well for me for the last resaw project I did, this blade's not as sharp as it was before, and I'm getting a little bit more drift than I would like. So I wouldn't use this fence for everything. I it certainly could be shorter, and in terms of its depth front to back on the bed, and that'll help the user be able to account for drift better than just trusting that it's just going to track perfectly. So about almost 30 seconds, about 25 seconds to come to a full stop. Here you got 2 dust ports, one right below the lower guide and one at the base of the machine. And these are 4-inch guides. And there's also this window down here to show dust height. You do let the dust build up. You know, it comes with one of these brushes to keep the tire clean. The tires are in good shape. And everything's pretty clean in here. This thing really hasn't even been used all that much. I'm not gonna do any full height resawing right now because this blade's a little bit dull. When it's sharp, it'll cut great, full height, even with hardwoods. I do have a second blade I'll include with it, which is a 1-inch blade as well, but it's not carbide tip. This is the nice expensive one. I have some elm that I'm gonna cut. It's about 4 inches tall, just to kind of get an idea of how this thing runs in its current state.